They called it community work. I called it childhood. By the time I was 10, I could fold 300 raffle tickets in under an hour, pour sweet tea for church folks without spilling a drop, and smile wide enough to make even the grumpiest deacon open his wallet. We were the glue of every fish fry, every silent auction, every revival night. And my mother. She was the queen of it all. My name is Mariah Jordan. I'm 26 now. I live in Savannah, but I grew up in Augusta, Georgia, where we didn't just believe in God, we believed in appearances. My grandfather was a deacon with a deep voice and even deeper secrets. My mother ran fundraisers that didn't have permits, receipts, or bank records. She said we were doing God's work. But what we were really doing was tax-free business with unpaid labor, mainly mine. Every summer, my cousins and I would be lined up in the back room of Mount Harmony Baptist Church, handing out envelopes and tallying auction bids. We were kids, but we weren't treated like kids. We were helpers, little soldiers in aprons and lace socks, taught to never ask too many questions. The motto was simple: smile, serve, and stay quiet. That's how we honored the family. When I was 12, I was given my first real job to manage the donation ledger. It looked like a church notebook, but I quickly realized I was writing names of people who didn't attend, amounts that didn't exist, and signatures that had already been traced. I was forging documents before I'd even kissed a boy. She leaned in close, her breath smelling like peppermints and stress, and whispered, "We help the community, just not the IRS." Because in our house, loyalty wasn't a choice, it was the currency. I watched other kids go to the mall, go to prom, post pictures in new shoes. Me, I was behind folding tables, writing names in pen, handling cash we never deposited. When I was 14, we hosted a silent auction in the church gym. I missed an entire week of CAT prep just to babysit screaming toddlers and refill the lemonade jugs. The event pulled in over $4,000. My cut: a slice of sheet cake and a lukewarm thank you. But I told myself it was fine. That sacrifice was love, that if I gave enough, they'd give it back eventually. That year, I started to feel the pressure in new ways. One cousin got a car, another got their college paid for. I got a worn-down laptop from a pawn shop, with the sticky notes still on it from the previous owner. Still, I kept helping, because I believed them. I believed we were a family built on tradition, built on grit, built on faith. When my mom's car broke down, I used half my paycheck from bagging groceries to help her fix it. When she said she needed help with back taxes, I handed her every dollar I had saved, $3,200 I'd earned over 2 years. She hugged me so tightly that day, said I was the only one who gets it. And I felt proud. I didn't realize then that pride was the bait. That love, in our house, was often just a leash. That's how deep I was in. That's how far I was willing to go to prove I belonged. I was the shield. And by then, the damage was already done. By the time I turned 20, I'd already given up 3 years of college dreams. I kept telling myself, next semester, just help out this one last time. But the last time never came. My mom had a way of phrasing things like it was my duty. Can you do the flyers, baby? No one else got your eye. You're so good with money. I trust only you to handle it. And I fell for it. Every time. Because when you grow up being called the responsible one, you start thinking responsibility is the same as love. One day, I got a job offer, an actual one. A small nonprofit that worked with foster teens needed an entry-level social worker. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. I remember holding the printed email in my hand, reading it over and over like it might disappear. I texted my mom the news, excited. When I called, she finally answered with, "That's nice, but who's going to run the books for the Fall Fest?" It stung, but I pushed the feeling down. I still said yes. I said yes to printing out silent auction cards. Yes, to organizing a car wash with fake donation buckets. Yes, to babysitting a cousin's baby while she danced at the fundraiser. Yes, to staying up until 2 a.m. doing flyers for an Easter brunch raffle that pulled in nearly $7,000 in cash. None of that went into the church bank account. But still, I believed we were just bending the rules.